Welcome back to City Stories. In today's episode, we dive into a powerful and emotional story set in the heart of a Nairobi suburb, where two very different worlds exist side by side. A young man with nothing but ambition crosses paths with a life he never imagined, and one decision changes everything. But before we begin, make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to City Stories so you never miss our next powerful story from the streets, the city, and beyond. Now, let's begin. The sun rose slowly over the hills of Nairobi, casting golden light over rows of houses separated not just by fences, but by life itself. On one side of the road, life moved in silence and struggle. On the other side, behind tall electric gates, life glittered. And between those two worlds walked Kiptu Mwangi. At 18, Kiptu had already seen more hardship than most. His mother woke before dawn every day, tying her lasso tightly as she prepared vegetables for selling by the roadside. His father had left years ago, swallowed by the city and never heard from again. Life had taught Kiptu one thing early. If you don't create your own opportunity, the world will never hand you one. Every morning, he walked past a certain house. Not just any house. This one stood out. White walls, a long driveway, a polished black gate that opened only for cars worth more than everything his family owned. But it wasn't the house that held his attention. It was her. Her name was Sheila. She was the daughter of the family that lived inside that compound. 18 years old, calm, beautiful in a quiet way. Kiptu first saw her sitting on the balcony, her legs folded under her as she read a book. The wind played gently with her hair, and for a moment she looked like she belonged to a different world, a world Kiptu would never be part of. At first, he just looked. Then he began to notice more: her routine, her loneliness, her silence. Sheila was always alone. No friends visiting, no laughter echoing through the compound. Just her and time. One afternoon, Kiptu sat under a tree, watching the house from a distance. The gate opened. A car drove out. Then another. The compound became quiet. He watched for nearly an hour. No movement, just Sheila walking slowly inside the compound. That's when the thought came. A dangerous thought, a reckless thought, a plan. Kiptu knew one thing: he couldn't enter that house as himself. No one would allow it. So he created someone who could. Her name was Akinyi. It started as an idea, then slowly it became real. He borrowed clothes from a neighbor. Long skirts, loose blouses, a headscarf. He practiced speaking softly, lowering his tone, choosing his words carefully. He studied how women walked, how they moved, how they avoided attention. It wasn't perfect, but it didn't need to be. It just needed to be believable enough. One afternoon, Kiptu stood at the gate. His heart was racing, his hands slightly shaking, but his face calm. Akinyi, he told the guard when asked, "I'm looking for work." Luck, or fate, the family had just lost their house help days before. The lady of the house came out, looked at him briefly, and asked a few questions. Nothing deep, nothing careful. She saw what she expected to see. And just like that, the gate opened. The first night inside the house felt unreal. The bed was soft, the lights were bright. The kitchen was full of food he had only ever seen in shops. Kiptu lay awake, staring at the ceiling. He had made it inside, but fear followed closely behind. Every step had to be careful, every word controlled. One mistake, and everything would fall apart. Their first real conversation was simple. Sheila walked into the kitchen, watching him quietly. "You're new," she said. "Yes," Kiptu replied softly, avoiding eye contact. "What's your name?" "Akinyi." She nodded. "You're different from the others." He didn't respond, but something had already begun. Days passed, then weeks. Keeptu learned everything quickly, cleaning, cooking, keeping quiet. But Sheila noticed him more and more. She began coming into the kitchen often, not because she needed anything, but because she wanted to talk. "You don't talk much," she said one day. "I talk when it matters," he replied. She smiled. That smile changed everything. One afternoon, Sheila sat at the kitchen table, her chin resting on her hand. "My parents are never around," she said. Keeptu said nothing. "They think giving me everything means I'm okay." She laughed softly. "But I'm not." That moment was the opening, and Keeptu stepped into it. Slowly, carefully, Keeptu began to reveal more, not the truth, but enough emotion to draw her closer. Stories of struggle, of growing up with nothing, of wanting something better. She listened, not because she was fooled, but because she was lonely, and loneliness makes people trust the wrong things. It didn't happen all at once. It was small things, a slip in voice, a movement, a moment too real to hide. And then one day, Sheila knew. "You're not who you say you are," she said quietly. Silence filled the room. Keeptu froze. This was it, the end. But Sheila didn't scream, she didn't run. She just looked at him. Why? That question hit harder than anything. Instead of exposing him, Sheila kept quiet. "I don't know why I'm not reporting you," she said. "Maybe I'm just tired of everything being normal." From that moment, something dangerous formed between them, a secret, and secrets have power. Their connection grew, not out of love, but out of curiosity, rebellion, and silence. They spent more time together, always careful, always hidden. Every moment felt like something stolen, something they were not supposed to have. But no secret lasts forever, and no decision comes without consequences. Weeks later, Sheila fell sick. At first, it seemed small. Then it became serious. Her parents noticed. Doctors were called. Tests were done. And the results changed everything. The house was no longer peaceful. Voices filled the rooms. Fear replaced silence. "What happened?" her mother asked. "Tell us the truth." Sheila cried, not just from fear, but from the weight of everything she had been carrying. And finally, she spoke. Keeptu was found. No disguise, no akini. Just a young man standing in the middle of a broken situation. The father's anger was immediate. The mother's heartbreak was silent. And Sheila couldn't even look at him. Everything fell apart. The house that once felt untouchable was now filled with pain. Keeptu realized too late. This was never a game. This was never a clever plan. It was a mistake. A big one. Keeptu returns to his old life, but nothing felt the same. He had seen a different world, touched it, and lost it. Sheila faced her own reality, stronger but changed forever. Her family became more protective, more aware, more human. Some choices feel small when you make them, but they can change your life forever. This is not a story about love. It is a story about deception, loneliness, poor decisions, and consequences. And sometimes, the biggest lessons come from the biggest mistakes.